I'm Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and this is Stockholm, Sweden. This week I'm sharing my top tips, things to do, and everything that you need to know about Stockholm, Sweden for your first visit. Thanks so much for stepping back by the channel, and if you're new here, I put out weekly laid-back luxury travel videos inspiring you to buy that plane ticket and get out there and go. In this video, I'm going to share a few tips about Sweden as well as some of the things that I did in my 48 hours of visiting Stockholm. Right now I'm standing in the heart of Old Stockholm in Gamlestan, which is the original island where people inhabited as a fort to protect the northern cities of Sweden. There are about 10 million people in Sweden and 2 million live in Stockholm, 800 in the core and up to 1.2 million in the environs. So something that's quite curious about Sweden in general is they're pretty much a cashless society, and that is the goal of the country. Even the famous coffee shop Espresso House doesn't even allow cash. So far in the 2 days that I have been here, I have not exchanged €1 or $1 into Swedish kroner. I have tipped in US dollars and I have tipped in euros, but I haven't needed any kroners whatsoever. Everyone takes credit cards. So I recommend that you stay as close to Gamlestan or the heart of the old city as possible. Me personally, I stayed in a US Marriott style hotel, but it was just across the bridge from Parliament, and it was a great location. In 5 minutes I was in Gamlestan, where all the great restaurants and shopping, and of course this beautiful Swedish architecture. I would recommend staying in Stockholm for 2 days, and if you're a museum goer, there are some incredible museums here, including the National Museum, a Viking museum, the Vasa, which is a old raised ship, absolutely incredible. So if you're a museum goer, I recommend staying at least 3 days. You want to make sure to bring whatever you're going to need, because shopping is not the thing to do while you're in Sweden. It's the home of H&M and IKEA, but typically you can buy both of those brands cheaper outside this country. Make sure to go to the description below and join the travel tribe to get your free top 20 packing must-haves. In this community, I offer tips, tricks, and incredible travel hacks. I look forward to meeting you in the tribe. It's always important to know what to pack when you're traveling anywhere in the world, and specifically, the weather is crazy here in Stockholm, Sweden. I have worn short sleeves, open-toed shoes. I also, today, it's a little bit colder, and it's August, by the way, and I have on a light down jacket. They say in Sweden, the weather changes every 5 minutes. I recommend long pants no matter what time of year you're going. Long sleeve shirts and a jacket with you, and definitely bring a raincoat and umbrella. Yesterday it monsooned out of the blue, beautiful blue sky, and all of a sudden there it was monsooning in the middle of the day. 15 minutes ago it was gorgeous, it was sunny, bright sunny day. I didn't even have a jacket on in my Birkenstocks, and now we just had a absolute monsoon. I had to go in the 7-Eleven and buy an umbrella. I didn't have one, and by the way, if you need an umbrella when you're at a 7-Eleven in Stockholm, they're behind the counter, and they're 69 kroner, and it's definitely worth it. This weather has been crazy. Now here are a couple of things you have to see while you're here. Let's start with the Vasa ship. So the way to avoid the long lines at the Vasa Museum is to go into the right, and there is a little kiosk if you're on your own, where if you have a debit card that has a PIN number, you can buy your ticket straight away, miss the crowds, miss the huge lines that I'm seeing behind me. You can see right here. Check out this line. It goes on forever. So make sure when you're headed to the Vasa Museum, you bring your ATM debit card so you have a PIN so you can skip the line and jump right in. So even though there are tons of people here at the Vasa Museum, it is well worth coming here. What a cool experience to see this ship that was built in the 1620s. It actually sank on our maiden voyage and then was recovered in the early 60s. What's crazy about this ship, it's like 220 feet long. So on this itty bitty little 200-foot ship, there were 445 men on her. It's pretty crazy. It's so worth coming here. It's like the #1 thing to do when you're in Stockholm. I definitely recommend it. I don't know where else you'll see anything that is this spectacular for a ship from this era. So most cities have a tram or a bus system, but what a better way to get around in the middle of Stockholm than taking a ferry. This is pretty cool. I decided to leave Vasa museum and head back to Gamlastan in the old town, and I decided to take a ferry instead of taking a bus or going for a walk. And make sure that you come to Stockholm on a day when there are not cruise ships in town. I was here yesterday and this street was probably 10-20 tourists. Today it is full and packed full of people. So make sure when you're coming to Stockholm, stay at least a couple of nights so you don't get all the cruise ships. Whew, a lot of people here. So I'm such a horse girl, I had to go get my little Dala horse. These have been around since the 1800s as toys. These Dala horses are famous in Sweden. It's actually the #1 tchotchke thing you should buy when you're in Sweden. Each individual town where they are made have different symbols, different colors, and different patterns on the horses. I don't know where mine came from, but I thought it was really cute. And he's gonna go really well in my house. And take a wander down Stockholm's narrowest street named Mårten Trotzigs Grand. It's only 35 inches wide at its narrowest. So I'm on the narrowest street in Stockholm. I'm making my wishes. Hopefully they come true. I'm not supposed to tell you what the wishes are, but I'm taking the 36 steps. I hope I get 36 wishes. So this is the second tour I've taken with Stockholm free walking tours today. This morning I did the modern town and now I'm doing Old Town. I'm with Joe, who's actually British. He's been in Sweden, in Stockholm for 2 years now going to university, and he's been fantastic. I've learned so much about the city. I definitely recommend that you do this as well. He's so fun and so knowledgeable and very, very, very clever. And of course, while you're in Stockholm, you gotta get your fika on. That's spelled F-I-K-A. What else besides a fika? A fika is stopping for coffee. Supposedly the Swedes drink half a liter of coffee a day. It's not like the Italian espresso, it's more watered down, more American style. Having yet another coffee for the day. I am living the Swedish fika life. In addition to the word fika, they have another interesting term called lagom, L-A-G-O-M, which actually means moderate. And here in Sweden, they don't want to stand out. Not too much, not too little, just stay in the middle. So, cheers to fika and cheers to the lagom Swedish lifestyle. And when you're in Stockholm, you have to try some traditional Swedish food. So today for lunch, I stopped at a place that is called Under Castigen, and I believe it's under the beautiful tree that's outside, and it's a quick, fast order, walk up to the counter, order, grab a table, and I'm trying all of the Swedish classics, including meatballs and gravlax. I have the dill and sour cream, some cheeses, boiled potatoes, just deliciousness. I can't wait to dig in. So I don't mean to be kitschy, but this dish is a veritable smorgasbord. I have a little bit of everything that is Swedish, and smorgasbord is a Swedish word. So the last thing I'm gonna do before I leave Stockholm is see the changing of the guard. And it's a Saturday, and look at all these people. By the way, it's every day except for Sunday at 12:14. On Sundays, it's an hour later. So hopefully I'll get to see something. So we're in the middle of the changing of the guard right now, and what I lucked out and found the best spot, maybe because I've seen tons of changing of the guard, But the best place to be is right here. You can see the guardhouse right here. And I am against the palace. And it's been a perfect spot. I have been able to see everything, even though I only got here about 10 minutes before the changing started happening. So this is definitely the spot. Come right against the palace and as close to the local guardhouse as possible. If you're traveling to Europe and you're looking for more tips and tricks, make sure to check out my videos about Know Before You Go in Spain as well as London. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, make sure to hit that red subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and I'll see you on the next adventure. I cannot figure this one out. And there were 145 soldiers. No, there were 145 sailors. Don't know if that's true, but that's what my tour guide told me. Coleslaw. And what else did it have? I don't know what else I had. That still have a monarchy. So culturally, moderate. Doesn't need to be on there. They don't have Starbucks here in Sweden. They kicked them out because they have crappy coffee. Oh, did I say that out loud? Was that my outside voice that said that?
But it's not really like Starbucks because the coffee is actually very good here.
Cheers.
Good morning.